Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video came about because I wanted to celebrate the Salt List. For those who don't know, EDHREC is a website that is a fabulous resource for Commander players. I highly recommend visiting the site whether you're new to Commander or experienced. One of the things they regularly do is let people vote on the saltiest cards in Commander. These are the cards that bring the most amount of anger and rage in your opponents. The kind of cards that end friendships and make players cry when they hit the board. And I wanted to include a bunch of them in today's deck. Now, that isn't to say that this deck's goal is to only induce salt. Oh no, dear viewer. We want to bring the game to a screeching halt and then win while everyone else is held in stasis. Leading our deck is the partner pairing of Akroma, Vision of Ixidor, and Crom, Ludovex Opus. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Akroma, Vision of Ixidor is a 7-mana 6/6 legendary angel, with flying, first strike, and trample. At the beginning of each combat, until the end of turn, each other creature we control gets +1/+1 if it has flying, +1/+1 if it has first strike, and so on for double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace protection, reach, trample, vigilance, and partner. Akroma also has partner, allowing us to pair her with another commander that also has partner. Crom, Ludovex Opus is a 5-mana 4/4 legendary zombie horror with flying and haste. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, we draw a card. And, like Akroma, Crom also has partner. The whole reason I built this deck in the first place was so that I could run Lightning Angel in a commander deck. A 4-mana 3/4 with flying, vigilance, and haste isn't good enough to run in commander. But Akroma turns her into a beastly 6/7. But how can we pair that with the saltiest cards in the game? Easily. We're going to run effects that prevent creatures from untapping, while running a bunch of vigilant creatures. So we can attack every single turn, but our opponents are stuck with tapped creatures and lands. Also, since this is a personal deck, this will not be a budget list. Don't worry, I do have more budget videos coming in the near future, but this isn't one of them. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. One of my favorite products Ultimate Guard has is their Xenoskin Sidewinder. The Sidewinder has a soft microfiber lining as well as the rugged Xenoskin shell we've all come to love. While the Sidewinder isn't a new product, they are now available in the limited Shogun's Journey print, like the Ajiro one seen here. Find it if your local game store carries Ultimate Guard products, or click the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lanes and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm currently streaming with my son over on Musings by Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Our land base consists of Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Scalding Tarn, Arid Mesa, Flooded Strand, Misty Rainforest, Bloodstained Mire, Marsh Flats, Rogrim Triome, Steam Vents, Sacred Foundry, Hallowed Fountain, Training Center, Spectator Seating, Sea of Clouds, Stormcarved Coast, Sundown Pass, Deserted Beach, Sulphur Falls, Clifftop Retreat, Glacial Fortress, Thundering Falls, Elegant Parlor, Meticulous Archive, Scavenger Grounds, 2 Islands, 3 Mountains, and 4 Plains. A good land base from which to cast spells in order to smash our opponents. Our mana ramp consists of Smothering Tithe, and Grand Arbiter Augustine IV for stacks purposes, along with Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Creativity, Talisman of Conviction, Talisman of Progress, Izzet Signet, Boros Signet, Azorius Signet, Sky Diamond, Fire Diamond, Marble Diamond, Mind Stone, Felwar Stone, Chromatic Lantern, and Thrawn Dynamo, all serving as mana rocks. Yes, some of our ramp is also stacks. What were you expecting? For card advantage, we've got Rhystic Study as a stacks effect, Jeska's Will as both a burst of cards and a burst of mana as needed, Winged Words, Windfall, Big Score, and Unexpected Windfall for a bit of card burst, Bident of Thassa, Reconnaissance Mission, Coastal Piracy, and Whirlwind of Thought for consistent card draw, and Enlightened Tutor to help us find our stacks pieces. For interaction and spot removal, we've got Negate, Counterspell, and Dobin's Veto serving as a small counterspell package, Abrade, Disenchant, Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, and Generous Gift for spot removal, and Teferi's Protection, Boros Charm, and Akroba's Will for protection. I mentioned that this was a stacks deck, so we're also running Stasis, Winter Orb, Static Orb, Hokori Dust Drinker, Rising Waters, Back to Basics, Winter Moon, and Blind Obedience. You'll note that most of these are stacks against lands, which is why we're running so many mana rocks. For board wipes, we're running Cyclonic Rift, Farewell, and Blasphemous Act. Pretty straightforward. The core of our deck consists of Lightning Angel, Mantis Rider, Shrike Force, Aurelia the War Leader, Aurelia the Law Above, Akroma Angel of Wrath, Zetalpa Primal Dawn, Avacyn Angel of Hope, Angel of Invention, Salvation Colossus, Parhelion II, and Sunblade Angel, all of whom serve the purpose of beating our opponents down. Supporting our plan, we've also got Thraben Watcher to pump our team and give Crom Vigilance, as well as Audric, Lunarch Marshal, who pairs very well with Akroma. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 51 mana sources split between 34 lands and 17 pieces of ramp. Normally I'd never recommend this split. I'd rather be playing a land per turn with a piece of ramp every few turns. However, with the stacks pieces in this deck, this should be a good ratio. 11 pieces of card advantage, 11 pieces of interaction plus 11 stacks pieces, 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Scavenger Grounds and Farewell, 1 Sudden Eye win card in Akroma's Will. Since Akroma's Will gives all of our creatures +1/+1 based on the number of keywords they have, assuming they are from a set list of course, Akroma's Will not only gives our creatures a ton of keywords, it also gives them +6/+6. Also, because of how Akroma is worded, for each combat step we have, her abilities trigger again. So if Akroma's Will is cast, our creatures all get +6/+6. Aurelia triggers, and our creatures get an additional +6/+6 for the next combat. An army of +12/+12 double-striking flyers should end the game very quickly, especially if our opponents have been unable to cast any spells because their lands are all tapped. Yes, I know this deck is mean, but that's half the fun with a deck like this. I like playing commander decks across a myriad of power levels, and sometimes you need to put your opponents in prison to remind them that this is your yard. Do you have a prison deck? What about a salt-inducing deck? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor CuteStuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Dana. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alex, Borgi, Naswin Konga, Aaron, Chris, Robert, William Pye, Kazaris Booksu, Patrick, Naffy, Noodle Tiz, Art, Richard, Devin, and Lucius. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Dana.